Alright, it's time to quick speed shop. We're out here in the snow in the driveway. I gotta put new plugs in my Dodge to tune her up. It's fouled and missing, and I gotta plow some snow with it. And I want it running on all 8 to give it the Dodge power. So let's go under the hood and see what we got to do to put some plugs in it and get the run a little bit better. Here we go. Alright, I got you on the GoPro without the extra mic because it's so cold and it kills it when I have the extra mic on. So hopefully you can hear me alright. But we got our Dodge Magnum here in our Dodge. 5.9 liter 2000, and I'm getting some puffing out of the exhaust right here. Pop, 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 pop. Let me fire it up. I'll show you. It's the plugs are fouled. We did a little trick, a little video a couple days ago, and saw they were fouled. So let me fire it up so you can hear it. Well, it's still cold. It's still cold, but I don't know if you can pick it up. You hear that popping? Now, obviously, when I shut the exhaust off of my hand, it does that, but it's missing down low. The plugs are fouled, and they miss every once in a while. Listen. This side usually is 2, but it looks like only 1 right now. Anyway, let's shut it off. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to go inside and I'll show you the plugs. They're here ready to go, but let's talk about gapping them and we'll get them installed in the truck here. One other problem I have is the power steering squeals on it real bad, and I've been trying to, oh, you're in the sun, sorry. I've been trying to get that so it doesn't squeal as bad. So let me pick up the plow. We've got a control, so pick up the plow. There, let's try to turn the wheel. The steering is super sloppy, or not sloppy. The steering is tight because it's got a, what do you call it, a stabilizer on it, and the tires are huge and they're stuck and it's probably frozen, but it squeals the belt. So I got a little old school trick right here, Napa belt dressing. I don't know when this is from, but the can's metal, so it's got to be pretty old. And the belt here, I just tried tightening it up. It's really long. It runs the power steering pump and the plow, or I'm sorry, it runs the power steering pump up top here. The plow pump is down where the factory power steering would be, so it squeals like a mofo. I don't know if it's thick. What's it like? Does it even work? Oh, there it is. It's like goo. I'm gonna put some of my finger and rub it on the belt. Yeah. I painted all the pulleys with paint, and maybe they slip because of the painted surfaces. I'm not sure, but this is something old school dressing action here. It's basically like putting honey on your belt, giving her a little bit of grip. I don't know how much I need. I'm gonna go with a lot. You never have too much belt dressing. Alright, I'm gonna fire it up. You guys watch it and see if it makes a difference. I can't believe it worked. Took the squealer right out of it. It says it fixed the squeaky belts, and it fixed squeaky belts. Hot diggity dang. So, oops, let me set the plow down before I drop it on my foot. That'd be bad. Oh, should go down. Oh, I need the truck running. Dang it. Alright, so I got some plugs to put in this thing. I just got Champions. Here they are here. 436 RC12 LC4. And the factory gap on a Magnum 5.9 liter, it says is 40 thousandths. Whoa. And that's with the for the fuel injection stuff, since I converted this truck to carburetor, I am running a Mopar orange box ignition like the truck had originally. And I don't know if 40 is going to be good for it. We're going to try it. Maybe I'll, you know, a lot of times the older Dodges, they were like 35 thousandths or ish. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to gap it right in the middle. I'm going to go to about 37. And the thing I got to do that is I got this little AutoZone spark plug gapper. It's just a tapered like disc, and it gets wider as you go. So it makes it really good for setting the gap. So you can come up here and you can see starts at 20 thousandths and it goes all the way up to 100. So if you just slide this guy in here and roll it around, actually these plugs are already gapped to 40. That's right out of the box. You know, we'll try 40 with the orange box. We'll see how it goes. It'll make the spark a little hotter, and it should be okay. And if it runs poorly, we know that's not good. So I'm just going to take every one of these out of the box real fast and then check it out and see how it is on the old gap wheel there. That one's about 39. So if I get close to 39 to 40, that's going to be close enough. And then we'll go back out in the snow, put these guys in, and then fire it up and see if it makes any difference. Ooh, that one's a little wide. That one's about 41 thousandths. So I'm going to go and just tap on the electrode over here just a touch. Knock her down just a hair. Nope, still 42. I don't want to hit it too hard. Oop. That took it down to like 37. Let's open her back up here. Creep up on it. Creeping. Boom. 40 thousandths. There we go. So I'll go ahead and gap all these plugs to 40. And we'll go out and we'll put them in the truck out in the wind and the snow. About 4 out of the 8 are fouled. I think it was missing on a couple. Let's fire it up, see if it makes a difference. Puffing out here. Before it would really puff out the exhaust. It only hear it, but it used to make a lot of pressure, like right here. I don't feel any. This driver's side, I don't think there's any over here either. Let's see. It's a little, it acts like it's a little bit over here, huh? It's on the choke though. Oops, all the snow's in here. Of course, it's not warmed up yet. I don't trust this carburetor. I brought it used, and I think that might be part of my problem. I had way wrong jets in it when I got it. I monkeyed around with it, put the right jets in it, but see how rich that was? Now the choke might be closed a little bit, but I think I'm gonna get rid of this holley that I bought used and buy a new. I might buy one of those new ABS Edelbrocks that's got the 4-corner idle circuits and the annular boosters. They tend to be pretty good. Because this seems like it's... Yeah, this thing's super, super rich. I'm not even like flooring it or nothing. I'm like barely cracking the throttle. It's going like super black. I bet this carburetor's screwed up. Yeah, it's loading up. I don't think the plugs are fouled. I think the carburetor is just like super, super rich, or the accelerator pump is like way fat. I don't trust it. Since I bought it, I found it was rebuilt so bad. I don't trust it. I would feel better spending the $300 or $400, $350 on a new carburetor, because I've tuned it multiple times and changed jets and stuff, like I said, primary and secondary, and monkeyed around. I put a new power valve in it. I don't trust it. I think something's wrong with it, because it shouldn't be that rich unless the choke is completely off, which we can open it and look. Got a mile of thread to get the air cleaner off. That's great. The choke's open. I monkeyed around with the floats with the sight glass. The float level seems to be okay. I just don't trust this carburetor. With all the issues I found, I don't trust it. And that's like pig freaking rich. As soon as you get on it, I would feel better putting something brand new versus something used that was wrong when I got it. I don't know. You can see how rich that is. It blew some exhaust in my van. Dang it. The thing is like pig rich. And that's with 64 jets in it. And I think, yeah, 64 jets in the primary anyways. It's going like full rich right off the bat. I mean, it sounded clean. It sounded clean when I revved it up there to like, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 RPM. It wasn't like missing. But I think once I like started getting into the accelerator pump heavily, pig rich. And that wasn't even open the 4-barrel. So like I said, I think it's only a 600, but it's acting like it's way bigger than that, or it's flopping the vacuum internally too fast or something. I don't know. I've messed with it multiple times. When I got this first truck, started getting it running, it wouldn't start without monkeying around. Well, of course, that was the wrong jets in it at that point. It had 79s in it instead of 62s, which was ridiculous. The guy read them upside down, and I looked at it, and I didn't think it was that. Whatever, is what it is. So I think the plugs helped, but obviously fuel delivery issues. So I'm gonna go back inside and charge up the camera and then get out of the cold here, but at least I got 8 new plugs in it. Oh, we'll go look at the plugs here in a second. Let's go look at them. All right, another thing to consider is that's an air gap intake, which is probably not the best cold weather intake for it, but it is what it is. They don't make carbureted non-air gap style intakes for Magnums as far as I can tell. So these plugs I took out, I think I kept them in order. This should be the front plug on the driver's side. Look at that. It was jet rich, fouled. And we cleaned one of them up. My friend Thomas here, we did a video, and we cleaned one up and it took some of the mist away. But you see how fouled that is? All the lower intake runners, like it's pooling fuel in that intake originally. When I had the carburetor all wrong, or when it was super rich, I think it fouled the lower runner plugs, because this is an upper runner plug, the second one back. See how it's all tan and stuff? That's running good. So The black ones are the lower intake runners, and the not black ones are the upper intake runners. This is the third plug back in the lower intake runner. See how black that is? Not as black as the first one, so this one was probably firing a little bit better, but still super rich. All right, the fourth one back, upper runner. You see it? It is white and tan. So that was good. That was the driver's side. We'll go to the passenger side. Let's see. This is the front of the motor, which I think was a lower intake. Yeah, lower intake runner. See, it's white, really nice shape. And then this one's going to be a lower, or this was an upper intake runner. I'm sorry, upper intake runner. This one's going to be a lower intake runner, all fouled out, nasty black. And then this one's going to be an upper intake runner. No, it's also lower. No, maybe not. It's blackish. There might be two lower intake runners in a row on the side, or else I got them in a... No, yeah, the two lower intake runners on the passenger side must be in line because there is the back plug and it's like brand new. So, boom. These things are nasty. So that's what we got, driver's side. First plug was black, second plug good, third plug black, fourth plug pretty good. Passenger side, oops, I got it mixed up. This goes here. First, no, I'm sorry. Like that. First plug was good, second, middle two are black, and the last one was good. So these plugs are like brand new. They're the same champions I put in there, the RC12LC4. So I guess I'll just have to monitor it, but I'm going to guess that the carburetor is screwed up. That intake is also super cold-blooded because it's a, there's no crossover with the Magnum engine. There's no coolant crossover, so that was a fuel-injected engine originally, and it had a barrel-style manifold on it with port fuel injection. So now it's got a air gap intake, which is not water heated, so it's going to be super cold-blooded in cold weather, which I think it might be also part of the problem. And I should be aware of that. It's part of the reason I went out and I bought another truck with a 318 LA 318, and not a Magnum motor, that has a regular water heated intake to be my plow truck. I think it's just too much cold weather for that truck with the air gap intake, not really meant for cold weather, number one. Number two, that carburetor's having issues. So in the spring when I get it out, I'm going to plow a couple times with it the rest of the winter. I'll check the plugs again. I think I'm going to buy like a 600 or 650 AVS Edelbrock intake to put on it with the annular boosters. They seem to be really good truck carburetors from what I heard from people. And try that out on there. And I've got some other cars with carburetor issues, so if I like the AVS on that, I might put an AVS on something else I have too, but we'll see. Holleys are really easy to work with, but if they're finicky, they're finicky. Edelbrocks are way more complicated. They're a knockoff of a Carter, but for street cars, they seem to be a little bit better. The Holley's more like performance orientated, and Edelbrock's more of like a factory style intakes or carburetor, sort of like that. So anyways, we got the old Dodge running, hopefully a little bit better. I'll monitor it, and I got to go out and dig out my dragster and take it to the Buffalo Cavalcade of Cars in Hamburg, New York this weekend. It's coming up. I got to take it, dig it out of it's drifted 3 foot down. You know what? I'm going to go do a separate video. I'm going to cold start that sucker out in a snowbank. You're going to want to see that because that'll be cool. Is it going to come out after this video? Maybe. Yeah, probably. Anyways, I got to go dig that out with my Dodge and probably my tractor. It's a mess. The snow is 4 foot deep. Anyways, stay tuned for that next video. Digging out the dragster, firing it up in a snowbank, moving it around. It's going to be awesome. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bam! Messing old Mopars. Why won't they run? It's supposed to be Mopar no car. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, do the things, hit the bell for the alert, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully working inside where it's a little bit warmer at the Quick Speed Shop.